Oh, okay, I got one. Cool. I have a couple, but one is short. One was just my client was picking his nose and eating it while I was tattooing him. It was horrible.
Is anybody in there or what?
Crazy client stories. Oh, God, I got so many, I can't think of any.
I mean, there's been quite a few.
Where do I begin?
There's the sexual predator, and then there's the time I picked my client up from the police station.
Oh my God.
Which one you guys want to hear first?
Oh my God, I've had so many crazy ones. I remember I was tattooing this girl's back, and she just started farting like crazy, like... She was just like, bloop, 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 bloop. I'm like, are you okay? You need to use the bathroom? She was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
I tattooed a guy who was a mental case. He broke out of an asylum out in Washington State, hitchhiked across the country to meet me, not even to get tattooed. He just wanted to meet me in this dimension because he had met me in the other 16. Apparently there were 16 dimensions.
The gentleman who flew out to see me, he did not have very good hygiene. And that was an experience in and of itself. He had jungle rot, and he made sure to be very kind enough to keep his legs very spread for me while I was tattooing his inner arm. So I got everything and then some from that, so thank you. You know who you are.
Stanky dick.
There was one guy I was tattooing, and we were like 3 lines into it, and I was tattooing like up here. We're talking about golf, of course. And then he just goes straight into my tool chest, head first. And I tried to catch him, I'm like, dude. And he didn't make it. He hit the floor and started twitching and stuff.
He said he didn't make it.
He didn't make it. He died from that tattoo. We buried him out back.
I've tattooed so many asses and not even women. I literally had to work every swingers night, every single one of them. Just because I'm personable, so I make everyone feel okay. Like, I'm not gonna judge you. If you wanna enjoy that, if you wanna eat, enjoy that. Like, okay, if I could hold your hair for you, I got you. The guy, his wife, his lover, and her lover, they all wanted like a symbol or some shit like that. And they wanted it on the butt. So I did 3 guys and 1 girl. So I have the wife kissing her boyfriend while I'm tattooing her husband and her husband's boyfriend. And I'm like, yo, this is life.
I was at a convention. It was the first snowstorm that Baltimore had in like 20 years. Like the hardest one. Everybody was snowed in. There was only tattoo artists, their clients that stayed in the hotel, and Disney on Ice was in the same hotel. So it was a weird show.
Disney on Ice.
Yeah, Disney on Ice. They had. It was like you could tell because these guys looked like little princesses and princes and whatever, and had no tattoos and just walking around looking like these people
kind of
are
gliding
freaks.
around.
Yeah, it was just. The MC and me were having like little back and forth about like, oh, Kenny K Bar is having a special on lower back tattoos. If anybody's, because it was like dead. And then randomly he just was going like, hey, Kenny K Bar is open for any taint tattoos. If anybody's looking to get your taint tattooed, Kenny K Bar. As he's walking, the guy's like, dude, didn't you want to get your taint tattooed? And I'm looking at him, I'm like, wait, do you really want to do this? It was so dead for most people that they had nothing else to do. So when they announced that this was happening, the entire convention was circled around
around this one taint.
Around this one taint. And this dude was on his back. I made him hold his balls. I made him shave. He goes, no, I shave. I'm like, shave again, and put a little milkshake with 2010 or 2009, one of those years, right in the middle of his, little gooch area. Brought all the boys to the yard.
This girl, just like a typical 26-year-old girl, comes in, wants to get a huge flower on her back. The back is like a difficult place to get tattooed. It's not easy. I've gotten my whole back done. I would say it's like top 3 hardest tattoos I've ever gotten. This girl, every 10 minutes, took a break to literally have a f***ing temper tantrum. Like kicking and screaming like a child. I'm like, this girl's 26 years old, right? She hooked up with like our shop manager at the time at the shop I was at. He came to work like a couple days later. And he's like,
guys, something wrong with my mouth.
And he opens his mouth and he's got like white spots all over. And we're like, bro, you need to go to the f***ing clinic. Like, you have an STD. Never heard from the girl again. Gone.
I tattooed Ariana Grande right after the Met Gala. And that was really strange because in the room, it was like she just showed up in like her Met Gala extreme outfit, you know, switched to like comfy clothes. I sit up in the middle of a hotel in like the Mandarin Oriental in like the top floors, and I had the whole fashion team there, like everybody that did hairs, nails, and everything just surrounding me. So it felt really strange to be in that situation and to have that much pressure after a big event. So it was cool. It was like a really fun time.
They come and get me from the back. They're like, Chris, it's your turn. There's a guy outside. It seems like he can't talk. He's writing everything down. All right, whatever. So I go out there. The guy could hear, but he couldn't talk. So he's writing to me, and he's asking me how much, and picks out this panther head with these checkered flags on. This little regular old-looking dude, you know. So we go. We get everything set up. I get the stencil made. I get the station all set up. I call the guy back. He comes in, takes his jacket off, takes his scarf off, and he's got a fucking tracheotomy. But he doesn't have the plastic shield or the thing over it, and the thing looks like a fucking vagina in the guy's neck, bro. He points at my little paper towels, my little pile of paper towels on the desk, and he goes, and I hand him one. He goes, yeah. He takes it, folds it up neatly, and goes, hop, fucking hocks a fucking loogie out of his fucking neck into this napkin, dude. And he fucking spits it out, and I'm just like, okay.
I'm scheduled to do this tattoo, and she's always on time or tells me, hey, I'm 5 to 10 minutes late through a text. So I'm waiting around, and the appointment was for 12, and I'm looking at my phone like, all right, it's 11:55, I'm all set up. Like, she's usually here, you know, she'll be here any minute. 12 o'clock, nothing. 12:02, I'm like, all right, this is kind of weird. I give my clients 15 minutes, and then I'm just like, 15-minute rule, like, you should have called, give me some heads up, right? So at 12:15, I'm really like, okay, I don't know what's up. So I sent a text saying, are you still coming? Like, what's good? Did you want to do 12:30 instead? 12:20, she calls me and she goes, Kevin, I'm at the police station. I need you to come bail me out. And I'm like, wait, what?
This one woman comes in one day, it's like me and I forget if it was one or two other guys working and we're tattooing, and there's, you know, my floor guy's sitting there. It was maybe like 4 or 5 of us just hanging out, tattooing, whatever. Fucking woman walks in, right into the work area. Hey guys, what's going on? We're like, hey, what's up? She's like, I've got a couple tattoos, check them out. And she starts showing us her tattoos, and we're like, okay, great. And the next thing you know, her fucking clothes are on the floor, and she's just fucking standing there naked. She's like, look, I got this one and these, and we're like, okay, terrific, great, thanks.
So back in my first year of tattooing, I was doing a lot of walk-ins back then, and it was just a typical day, and this couple comes in. The wife of the couple wants to get tattooed, and she wants to get this little tiny dove on her ankle. So of course, I'm like, no problem, drew it up real quick, I'm tattooing her. And as I'm tattooing her, I keep looking at her legs, and this sounds really weird, like not in a creepy way, but she's wearing shorts, and as I'm tattooing her ankle, her legs look so familiar to me. And I know that's such a weird thing to say, but I just kept noticing it, and I was like, huh, what a weird thing to notice. And we're having a conversation the whole time I'm tattooing, we're laughing, cracking jokes, and her laugh is just like piercing right through me, right? Like something about it, it seems so familiar. And I cannot like put my finger on like, wow, why does this laugh like affect me like this? So the lady's super nice, we're getting along, we're tattooing, day's going normal, and she takes notice of some photographs that I have hanging on my wall. So she looks over at this photo and she says, huh, that one photo, that looks like that could be a picture of my brother. And I was like, oh, really? And I like took it down, I was like, what's his name? And she told me his name, and I was like, huh, that's my uncle. And she's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. I told her my mom's name, and I was like, is that your sister? And she's like, yeah, I haven't seen her in years. And I was like, oh my God, you're my aunt. And at that moment, I met my long lost aunt.
I mean,
Wait, move the chair, kick the chair, because I'm gonna put a golf course behind you.
oh god,
All the way.
that's fucking embarrassing.
Wait. Let me zoom out a little bit.
Alright, hold on. Now I gotta think about like the golf. There we go.
That's fucking dumb. Okay, sit down.
Alright.